The tree of knowledge of good and evil. The Tower of Babel. Sins of the flesh. Would you like to understand it a bit better? Not this crazy messed up Catholic version of the religious Catholic version. I'm talking about sins of the flesh. Eve didn't eat an apple. She took a seed which genetically modified her offspring.
We can all live forever.
I want to live forever.
No, we will live forever.
How long is a human life? Currently, the average lifespan for Americans is 77.28 years. However, most people believe that humans should live to around 100 to 120 years old. It's even in the Bible. Genesis 6:3. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. Also, Deuteronomy 34:7 tells us that Moses lived to 120 years old. Moses was 120 years old when he died. Yet his eyes were not weak, nor his strength gone. End quote. Now, let's say you had the chance to decide how long you would live. What would you pick? 100 years? 1,000 years? What about 10,000 or even 20,000? Sounds insane, right? Well, think again. Right now, as you watch this video, there are transhumanist forces working towards that exact goal. You see, with the rise of gene editing technology and DNA modification, scientists are doing exactly that. They're trying to extend human life to 20,000 years.
The future.
What do you think's going on with, like, Trump and all these people wearing masks and stuff? With their brain chips. Neuralink. Where are they getting this technology from? Remote viewing and so forth. So is it the technology itself that gives them the ability for remote viewing? Or are they tapping into something and being fed something by another entity? I think that's probably more like it. What do you think? Trump's got this obsession about he doesn't think he's going to go to heaven and he's having moments of upset. And do you think maybe it's not working? Has he done some kind of a deal with the devil where he thinks he's going to win back his soul? Has it dawned on him yet? Do you realise that you are the soul? You cannot live in the flesh forever. You can't. Our soul goes on for an eternity. Like I say, she's a long time dead. What are they all so afraid of? What are they trying to hide from in their digital transhumanism? Daniel, please be quiet a bit. I can hear you out here plain as day. Yeah, well, the whole world doesn't want to hear you talking German gibberish. It almost sounds German. It's just gibberish.
Is great, but only for a very small fraction of all people. So you might imagine that a tiny elite or just a single nation or some subset of humanity get to reap the benefits of transhuman technologies, and that the rest are left out. And this is one of the reasons why transhumanist movement is active today, which is to try to work to improve access to these benefits to all people.
Back in Hitler's time, it was the superior Aryan race and eugenics. They were eugenicists.
People across the globe. It's something that we might very well be able to influence depending on what kind of decisions we make today. And it's a political struggle as well as a technological matter, whether the benefits will be equitably distributed.
So imagine a young woman, she's just given birth, and then she needs to make the decision. Is she going to have her baby modified? So say she decides to do that. So this, hypothetically, this grain of sand, in a sense, that's been nanoteched, is inserted into the human brain, that baby's brain, and it integrates itself into the brain. So that baby, in effect, is no longer human.
Hello, Amy's List. Hello, Amy's Listers. What do you think full-term abortion's all about? If you make it legal for full-term abortion, you make it legal for transhumanism at birth. Because they essentially are not human. Are you getting it yet?
Because, I mean, think about it. The capacity of that grain of sand is billions of times what the human brain can do. So for, 1/billionth of its capacity, of its time, is it doing human things. For the other 99.9999999% of the time, it's doing artelecty type things. So that woman, in a sense, has killed her baby. Killed in the sense the baby's no longer human. It's effectively an artelect. It's an artelect in human disguise.
Then it starts to give you abilities, and you believe you can do things outside the normal realms of humanity. So your values, your morals start to change immediately.
What I'm really interested in is to try to understand the bigger picture for humanity, our place in the world, and what might lie in store for our species in the future. Particularly the way we might use technologies to enhance ourselves, or to go beyond what we currently think of as our human nature, whether it might be by radically extending the human lifespan through solving the problem of aging, or increasing our intellectual capacities, improving our memory, or taking control of our own emotional states. I think that we are right now in a transitional phase where before the end of this century we will either have gone extinct, or we will have most likely taken the step to become what you might call transhumans or posthumans, or just very enhanced humans that have reached their full potential.
What do you think all transgenderism's all about? It's predictive programming. This is sins of the flesh, people. Not having a wank. Sorry. Wanting to breed with things that you shouldn't breed with. Because there were corrupted people and corrupted beasts back in the days of Noah. We've been here before. People are interpreting the Bible to you completely wrong. To scare you, rather than to give you peace and comfort. I'm not saying you should be getting around playing with yourself. What I'm saying is, sins of the flesh are corrupting the flesh. Corrupting us in God, who are supposed to be in God's image. Changing what it is to be mankind. We've already been messed with once. That's why they call us human. Hu in an ancient language means monster. That happened back in Genesis. Cain killed Abel, remember? Because Cain was corrupted flesh. Are you starting to see what the mark of the beast is now? It's transhumanism. So that the demon spirits can live on for another 20,000 years. And the cycle continues. Why do you think they want to try and hide in some digital metaverse? They haven't perfected it yet. They're running out of time. They're showing us old technology as if it's futuristic. There will be signs and wonders. They're showing us things in the past so that when we see it in the future, it's like, oh, time travel. We're time travelers. It's been time travelling. No, it's remote viewing. It's receiving technology from the demon entities to fool the world. Now, in the grand scheme of things, 20,000 years isn't very long compared to an eternity. An eternity is infinity, it has no end. I know, it sounds out there, doesn't it? Not as out there as this. I'm not the one doing it, they are. Hello? I'm not the one doing it.
And I think this transition is the most crucial phase of our species' history. It's really, really important to get it right.
Quote, the professor of molecular biogerontology at the Institute of Inflammation and Aging at the University of Birmingham in England talked with Scientific American about the tools needed to really impact human aging, and he isn't focused on gaining a few years here or there. He wants to add thousands of years to human lifespan. All it takes, he believes, is a new technology that's yet to be created that can eliminate aging at the cellular level, repair DNA, and reprogram cells for a drastically different aging process. He said, my hypothesis is that we have a very complicated set of computer-like programs in our DNA that turn us into an adult human being, he told Scientific American. But maybe some of these programs, as they continue into later life, become detrimental. He says that the key isn't so much finding the next drug, although certainly medicine has improved lifespan significantly and helped eliminate some of the leading causes of death. He believes that the medical intervention necessary for these extremely long lives will require finding a way to eliminate aging at the cellular level by reprogramming cells and genes critical to the aging process. His research has so far focused on animals seemingly outperforming similar species. These include such animals as the bowhead whale, with its 200-year lifespan, and the naked mole rat, which can live 30 years, while similar rodents just live a few. He said various long-lived animals, such as humans, whales, and elephants, all have to cope with the same issues such as cancer, but they use different molecular tricks to achieve their longevity. With bowhead whales, they seem to have much better DNA repair. He cites the P53 gene and its cancer suppression capabilities, as it's important to this long lifespan. And he says that there may be other genes we need to target. While adding in new drugs, rapamycin has shown to lengthen the life of animals as much as 15%. It has an impact. Achieving wild lifespans of 1,000 to 20,000 years would require cells that don't age. To figure out how to stop the cellular aging process in its tracks, humans need to be a bit more like a naked mole rat.
Why do we have marsupial mammals in Australia? Why do we have carnivorous marsupials? Tassie tiger. Why do we have platypi? Now just think about the Great Flood. We're close to Antarctica, right? Here's something that'll cook your chickens. Do you know we have minerals in the ground here in Tasmania, identical to what's in Africa that aren't in the mainland? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Just what is the Ark? What sort of scientific experiments created animals here in Tasmania that are nothing like anything else anywhere else in the world? Here in Australia, but mainly Tasmania.
In terms of cancer resistance and probably overall aging as well, it's their ability to respond to and repair DNA damage, he said, adding he believes aging is more of a software problem than a hardware problem. He believes, at least in theory, that humans can have radical interventions that rewrite genetic software and redesign human biology to delay or even reverse aging. In practice, it is difficult, but in theory, I think there's a huge potential. By huge, he means pretty much as huge as you can imagine. I actually did some calculations years ago and found that if we could cure human aging, average human lifespan would be more than 1,000 years, he tells Scientific American. Maximum lifespan barring accidents and violent death could be as long as 20,000 years. All it takes, he admits, is redesigning our biology to eliminate cancer and evade detrimental actions of our genetic code. He thinks we'll get there one day. We'll just have to wait and see if he's right. End quote. Crazy, huh? Seriously though, would you extend your life if you could? Or would you just let nature take its course? If yes, how long would you want to live? Put your answer in the comments. I'm curious to see how many people would actually want to live for 20,000 years, because to me, that sounds like a nightmare that you can't wake up from. And I want to thank you all for watching this video. God bless you all.
I know, right? What was Queen trying to tell us? The movie, what was it, Highlander? This isn't science. This is radical messing around with the natural order of things. You see, this is why I don't align myself with Christians, but call myself a Christian, with a homeless Christian. I won't be corrupted by a religion. I'm not atheist either. I do believe that with every soul of my, every fibre of my being, we were created in God's image, and they keep messing with it. They keep messing with it. Now we finally get the choice to mess with ourselves or not to be or not to be. That is the question. That suddenly carries a lot more water in that bucket, doesn't it? A bit to chew on. Because simply to just be is not to live. A rock exists, but it's just a rock. Doesn't serve any purpose other than for Cain to hit Abel in the head with. Something to build upon. There's a lot to chew on that, isn't it? Living forever. Like, for what? So we can stand around and watch the end of the world? Now that sounds like hell. That sounds like hell. What a life. Oof. Not being able to die after the world ends and you're still lost in the abyss, drawn towards the sun. Fire and brimstone. Who knows? I don't want to find out.